In this video, I'll be showing you the exact framework that allowed me to close more than 10 clients within less than 60 days of running Meta ads. And these clients are clients that paid us thousands of dollars to deliver a service that is very important and crucial to their business. So in this video, I'll be showing you exactly how to shoot these ads, how to structure them inside of the ads manager, how to test them, how to scale them, what type of offers to run. And lastly, I'm going to share a very important hack that is very beginner friendly to get clients through the door with almost zero resistance. So stick till the end to get all of the sauce. So the first part of the framework consists of selecting a niche. And of course, you shouldn't just select any niche, you should select the right niche. Why? Because if you end up selecting a niche that doesn't work or a niche that is bad, you might face problems later down the line, which are very, very hard for you to overcome. So it's very important to select the right niche. Now, how do you actually go about selecting the right niche? And this is what I personally use. Whenever I want to launch a new offer, I always use this simple criteria. So the first thing is that you need to have a high ROI potential, meaning the service that you deliver for the clients, if you're running, for example, an ad service, right? Your client should be making a lot of money per client. And this means that even if you get them, for example, 2 clients per month, they're probably making 10 times or even 20 times the amount that they're paying you and the amount that they're probably spending on ads, which basically means that you have a very high room to mess up. Now, let me give you an actual example of what this looks like. Let's say, for example, person A signs a car washing client and person B signs a roofing client. Now, how much is a car wash worth and how much is a roof worth? Now, one car washing client costs $40 and one roof may cost anywhere from $15,000 all the way to $80,000 in some cases. Meaning, for this client, you need to get him at least 100 to 200 clients per month in order to just justify the amount that they are paying you. While on the other hand, if the other person gets their clients only 2 clients per month, they are probably bringing in another $40,000 to $50,000 per month. So you need to have a business whereby one client is worth a lot. Now, the second thing, the service. What do you need to offer these people that makes them actually want to pay you each and every single month? I personally go with services that actually bring them money because let's be honest, every single business out there needs to make money. So if I come to you and there's this new AI thing, there's like an AI automation, whatever, they're not gonna think about it from, oh, how can this bring me money? They'll probably think about it like, how does this actually benefit my business? But whenever like your solution is directly tied to how much income a client can produce, they always say yes. So what I like to do is just Facebook ads, running ads for them, bringing them leads, booking them estimates and appointments, or doing local services ads, which is basically LSA, Google guaranteed, which means that you basically run a service whereby each and every single client, they get calls from their business. So you're selling them calls that convert into clients. So these are the main 2 things that I offer. Now, the last part is having an offer. So before we even talk about the ads, we need to make sure that the offer is dialed in. So the offer should be something tangible, something quantifiable. What do I mean by that? You shouldn't just say, oh, return just 2K per month, 1.5K per month. Does that work? Yes, it does. But the market has adapted. Whenever you have an offer that is tied to the value that the client is getting, it's always better than saying retainers. For example, I mentioned local services ads, which is Google local services ads, and I mentioned Facebook. So for Facebook, for example, you can say, I'm going to get you 100 leads and I'm going to charge you $30 per lead. So that's going to be a $3,000 package. So he knows what he's getting. He knows that, oh, I can convert maybe 15% of my leads. So if I pay $3,000, I'm probably getting 15 clients. And how much money is that? Oh, that's a lot of money. Yes, that makes sense. Or for example, if you're running local services ads, you can say, for example, I can guarantee to give you a package of 50 qualified calls. And they think, oh, every time 10 people call my business, at least 2 or 3 people I manage to convert them into clients. So when he thinks about 50 calls, and that's how you want to structure your offer basically in 2025. That's the way that I prefer to do it. Now, let's move to the creative strategy. And before we get into that, if you're running an agency and you've signed a few clients, but you're unable to break past the point where you're consistently making money and signing clients every single month, then check out the link below in the description to apply to work with me one-on-one. And I'm not going to bore you with the details, but long story short, I help you install a full team inside of your agency, and I work with you one-on-one to grow your business. And basically there's a guarantee, if you don't sign at least 5 clients, you pay absolutely nothing at all. Back to the video. So how do we actually go about having good creatives, right? So the first part of running the ads, we said we selected a niche, then we selected the service, now we selected the offer, right? The offer structure. Now, how can we actually do the creatives? Now, before we start, it's very important to note that the Andromeda update by Meta has been dropped, and this has created a lot of differences in the way that we approach testing and the way that we approach ads on Facebook. And what does this mean when it comes to us having creatives? It means that we need more creative variety, which means it's not just about volume like it was, it's about having different variety of creatives, meaning I can have, for example, an ad where I'm talking and I'm seeing the service. Another variety could be, for example, a podcast where I'm talking to somebody and explaining to him what we do and what we give our clients, and that's another format. Another one could be like carousels, whereby like you scroll and then you see the different services. Another variety could be, for example, just a different person, you know? For example, instead of you shooting the ads, one thing that we do is that we hire actors as well, so that maybe if there's a niche whereby it's a lot of old people, for example, that are in that niche, we want to have somebody closer to their age, so we hire an actor in order for them to feel more connected to the people speaking to them. So you need to actually like have different varieties of ads in order to run, to pump out into the ads manager. So how do you test, and what is the budget that I recommend? So you want to have a minimum of $35 per day. That is the budget that I recommend, simply because less than that, it's really hard to scale and get consistent clients. You want to have, for example, for each and every single, for example, variation, you want to shoot 5 creatives and 10 hooks, so you have 50, right? Let's say, for example, that your first test of ads, you want to have a big batch, right? What you want to do is you can shoot the ads yourself, and then you can have an actor that will shoot the ads with you. What you can simply do is, I'm going to shoot 5 bodies and 10 hooks, so I have 50 different creative variations, and person B is going to shoot 5 bodies and 10 hooks, which means now I have 100 ads that I can test. And hooks typically are just 7 to 8 seconds long, which means you can literally shoot 10 hooks in just a minute or 2 minutes if you memorize them correctly. And then the bodies is only a minute each, so even though you might think, oh, 100 ad variations, but actually I shoot them in less than 1 hour. So just so you know, it's not as hard as you may think. You just have to come up with good scripts, and of course you need to implement the offer that we talked about. Now the way that you test it is that you're not just gonna put all 50 creatives in one campaign, in one ad campaign. That's completely wrong. You wanna pick 2 good hooks and then you pair them with 3 bodies. So for example, you can have hook 1 with body 1, hook 1 with body 2, hook 1 with body 3, then hook 2 with body 1, hook 2 with body 2, and then hook 2 with body 3. This way you have 6 different ad variations, and then you can let Meta play out. Once a week goes by and then you see which ads work better, you can go ahead and kill the ads that are barely spending any money. Keep the ones that are getting you good results, but results that are not as good, because Andromeda has rolled out a feature whereby it slowly tests things over time. So what we've seen within our clients is that sometimes certain ads in the beginning, they're getting you good results or okay results, and then all of a sudden it starts getting you a lot of good results. So the only criteria whereby I would tell you, shut off this ad if it's barely spending any money. If it's spending money, trust me, Meta knows that this has potential. It will slowly try to test and see which types of audiences respond the best with this sort of offer. You also want to have like different carousels and static ads. Obviously, I would say that you don't have no more than 5 or 6 creatives at once with low budgets. So if we're doing $35 per day to $50 per day, I would say 5 to 6 creatives at once per campaign is usually good. Now, the sales process, what happens when you actually get these leads, right? So now what happens after you actually like run the campaign? So you want to have lead form ads. I'm pretty sure that if you're watching this video, you've heard what lead forms are. It's basically a form where you fill out your information on Facebook, and then you can receive that information with a go high level automation. And if you basically want to know how to do that step by step, just comment down below and I'll probably have a video that explains all of that. Now, what you want to do is you want to call a lead as soon as it comes in. And this is, again, I say this probably in every video, but I cannot stress this enough. This will literally make or break your business. If you can just know that, okay, I have a business and I want to make it work. Sit down at home, have your phone in your hand. As soon as a lead comes in, you can have an automation in Zapier or Go High Level that sends you a text to your phone that, hey, you have a new lead. And basically you want to call them as soon as they come in, and you either want to book them the same day or the next day. Or even better, you can just tell them, hey, by the way, are you free, Mr. Prospect? Actually, how about we do the call right now? So you can actually send them a Google Meet link so that they can jump on the call right then and there, which basically eliminates the chance that they might not show up. If you have a 65% to 70% show up rate, when you tell a client, let's do it right now, you basically eliminate the 30% chance that they might not show up. And the last thing, and this is very, very important, and I've noticed this with people that I've coached, if you actually care about making as much money as fast as possible with zero resistance, is you need to have foot in the door offers, which means free trials. Look, I know it's not attractive to say, and of course, this is not something that a lot of people want to hear, but the truth is, A person that is just starting out that only charges upfront and a person that offers free trials, the person that is offering free trials will make more money than the person only charging upfront. Because at the beginning you have no testimonials, you have no confidence. So getting people to pay you upfront, of course it's doable, and I've had students that I've coached do it all the time, but I'm just saying that if you want to make more money, you basically want to have offers that are appealing and compelling, because people love to get started with something and not pay, which is why every single big tech company has what? They have free trials, and that's very, very important, right? So what you can do, just different ideas, is that you can say, I can do the setup for free. So you only pay me $700 or $800 after I get set up. So they think, oh, I can actually get set up for free, and then I can pay after. Okay, let's try. And boom, you have them through the door. Another bonus thing is that what you want to do is you want to basically make them sign a contract as soon as possible, because if they do not commit by some way, either they pay you on the call or they sign a contract, they might flake. They might just not show up to the onboarding call, or they might just leave. So as soon as they say yes, ideally you want to send them an agreement as soon as possible, like preferably on the call. Have a template ready and send it to them right away. So different offers is that you can say, for example, let's go with a roofing client. You can say, hey, I'm going to sell you a package of 30 appointments for $4,000, but the first 2 appointments, 2 roofing estimates, I can do them for free. Now, getting 2 estimates, you can get that within 4 to 5 days. But the way that you do it is that since they get started for free, right, it's much easier to get them to say yes to that than to charge them $4,000 upfront when you have very little testimonials. And this just doesn't work when you have little testimonials. Sometimes I also do this as well. If I see that a client just doesn't want to pay upfront, I'll offer him a free trial. We can get him a couple of appointments within like a few days, and then bam. So think of it as a funnel rather than you doing something for free. Now, how do you scale? You want to scale with budget and creatives, because once you find out that there are winning ad creatives, of course, I mentioned how we need to have a lot of different creatives, but once you have ones that are winners, they're not going to be winners for a long time, because there's something called ad fatigue, which means, you know, just like whenever you see an ad again and again and again, you get bored and annoyed. So you always, if you're scaling, you want to have a higher number of creatives. You want to just do more. And funnily enough, like Alex Hormozi did 2,800 creatives when he was launching the book, $100 Million Offers, you know, his famous book. That's just because volume is very, very important. You want to have quality and quantity. One of the two just won't cut it. And ideally, you want to start increasing the ad budget once you can consistently make at least 3 times whatever you're spending on ads. So if you're spending, for example, $35 per day, which is like almost $1,000 per month, if you're making more than $3,000, then I would encourage you to slowly increase the budget and increase the number of creatives that you do. Just follow these steps. If there's any parts of this entire process that you want me to go more in detail and depth, comment below. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you can subscribe, that would be a huge help in order to see like content like this all the time, because I actually post free stuff that's gonna actually help you scale your business. So I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. So click the subscribe button and turn on the post notifications so you don't miss anything that I post. And of course, if you have any questions, you're free to text me on my Instagram, tarek.systems, obviously. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.